Jesus sat resting in the shade of the old twisted olive trees. Not far away, he could hear the gurgling and splashing of the River Jordan. Around him sat his disciples. They were just beginning to believe that Jesus was God's Son. Suddenly, over the hill came a man, running, puffing and grunting. He could hardly talk. "Lord, I've run all the way from Bethany. Your friend Lazarus is very ill." Jesus turned to the disciples. "Don't worry," he explained. "This has happened so that you will see the power of God." The disciples looked at each other, expecting Jesus to get up and start running all the way to Bethany. "You can't go there, Master," they argued. "Bethany's only 2 miles from Jerusalem, and they're waiting to kill you there." "Don't worry," said Jesus. "There's no rush. Lazarus is only sleeping." "Oh, thank goodness for that," said the disciples. "There's no need for us to go at all, then. He'll soon wake up." No, Jesus explained. "I mean, he's dead. But, well, I'm going to show you a sign that you will believe." Even the birds seemed quiet around the home of Lazarus. But from everywhere came the sad sound of crying, moaning, and weeping. The garden and every room in the house was full of sobbing people. There was no sadder place in the whole world. Martha, one of Lazarus' sisters, saw Jesus coming and ran to meet him. "Oh, Lord," she sighed, "if only you'd been here, our brother would not have died." "Your brother will come alive again," smiled Jesus. "Yes, I know," answered Martha. "You told us before that God would raise us all up from the dead one day." Jesus put his arm around Martha. "Martha," he said, "I am the resurrection and the life. Do you believe this?" Martha's eyes filled with tears. "You are God's Son. I can believe that." There was another sound of weeping, and Jesus turned to see Martha's sister, Mary, kneeling at his feet. "Oh, Lord," she sobbed, "if only you had got here in time, our brother would not have died." Jesus began to cry too. "Where is Lazarus now?" he asked. "Come, I'll show you," said Mary. Mary and Martha showed Jesus the cave where Lazarus was buried. There were hordes of people gathered around, all pushing and shoving. "Too late to do anything now," someone said crossly. "Jesus wasted time before coming. Thought he loved Lazarus." "Huh!"
"Poor old Martha and Mary,"
said a little old lady. Jesus turned to the sisters. "Mary, Martha, get some people to roll away the stone." "Oh, no, Lord. He's been dead 4 days. There'll be a terrible smell by now." "Martha," said Jesus, "didn't I tell you you would see God working?" "What's happening?" called a voice from the back of the crowd. "Shush, shush," another voice whispered. "They're rolling the stone away." "Who are? I'm off." It was so quiet you could hear the grass rustling in the breeze. Jesus looked up and prayed, "Father, let all the people here see that you sent me." Then Jesus called loudly, "Lazarus, come out." Everyone stared at the cave. Something else rustled now beside the grass. The darkness in the cave stirred. "Oh, help!" cried someone and ran away. And there stood Lazarus, all bound up with bandages. The crowd began to shout, and the shouting grew louder and louder and louder. "Lazarus is alive! Jesus can do it! He's alive! He's alive!" Mary and Martha flung their arms around their brother. They weren't crying anymore. Lots of people now definitely believed that Jesus came from God. But some ran to the Pharisees and priests in Jerusalem. "We saw it! We actually saw it with our own eyes! You can't argue! It was great!" The Pharisees squirmed and wriggled in their seats, their eyes darting everywhere. "What are we going to do?" they whined. "Jesus is performing miracles all over the place, and now this. If we let him go, the people will believe him and follow him, not us." "We'll have to kill him and get rid of his power," declared the high priest. "But how can you kill someone who has power over death?" asked one man, thinking to himself that Jesus had shown them a very great sign indeed.